This is the introduction to my book, Death Was Never Born, Life Never Died. The purpose of this book is to establish that consciousness is the real meaning of life, and consciousness, being an energy, is neither born nor dies. In other words, it is not a temporal phenomena but is eternal. Every cell in the body is composed of a combination of elements such as carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, calcium, sulfur, and many others. Different arrangements and proportions of the elements make different molecules, and they group up into the organs and components of the body like flesh, bone, blood, heart, and brain. All of them are matter, and matter is inert. The fundamental factor in each one of us is life, expressed as awareness, feelings, desires, emotions, and memories. This is collectively called the mind, the constant flow of varied thoughts. Knowing and responding is the insignia of being alive. This is sentiency, not inertness. It is the movement of consciousness which is the force and play of life. Yet, biochemists tell us that this faculty of thought is a product of brain cells which, as we saw, are matter. Now the question arises, how can inert matter produce life? This is the fundamental error that sets apart science, the analytical study of matter, and spirituality is the deep life experience of oneself. Energies are forever, not temporal. They do not emerge from equipments. They only manifest their eternal power or Shakti through matched equipments. Light in your room is not produced by the bulb, but by the inherent potential for light in electricity. When your bulb fuses or breaks, does that bit of electricity which was manifesting therein die? The bulb dies, the electricity lives on. So too, when our bodies die, the energy of the mind remains intact. We are even now permitted by Providence to experience the dream state as apart from the wakeful state, when the subtle body we call the mind lives and acts as the dreamer, while the gross body, unaware of it, sleeps motionless on its cozy bed. Again, we are daily granted the deep sleep at night, wherein we know nothing, do nothing, and yet our existence must have continued because we return after sleep as the same individual who was lost in the deep sleep state. So, consciousness persists beyond the limitations of time and space. Death does not take the mental psyche into a void of nothingness. Death is a false word for changed state of continued identity. We are heirs to timeless peace and bliss as absolute consciousness when liberated from thoughts. But even in the frame of relativity, we are immortal through renewed mortality as Sri Aurobindo puts it. This renewed mortality is what we call punarjanma or reincarnation. Bliss is one's natural state, but seeking happiness through external association or acquisition, we live with unfulfilled desires, cravings, and sorrows, and naturally die incomplete. So, rebirth is necessary. The modalities of when and how death occurs, how and where rebirth takes place, are logically and precisely presented in this book. Western studies led to Darwinian evolution, which accurately codified and catalogued physical progression of bodies. It showed the continuity of change, but knew nothing about the continuity of identity therein through the changes. Man is not an end product, he is the whole process. That is the content of the book.